I'll be showing you how to install MySQL in our server. So it is all command based. So just follow along. I'll do sudo apt update. Wait for it to execute all those things. And now it says I can do upgrades to some programs, but I'll not worry about those things right now. What I'll do is I'll directly hit to installing MySQL. So I'll do sudo apt install MySQL Client 5.7. So by the way, I'll be using 5.7 version of MySQL. Hit enter. It will ask to install it. We'll say Y or yes. It will download and install. Wait for it to complete. Alright, so it seems like it has installed MySQL Client now with the MySQL Server. So I'll just sudo apt install MySQL Server 5.7. Hit enter. It will ask again. I'll say Y for yes, and wait for it to do its thing. Alright, so installation is done for MySQL. Now what we can do is we can do sudo MySQL, and we are directly going to log into our system by sudo user. Now we need to create a user for the database, and what we'll do is I'll create user and call it test_user. Localhost identified by, and I'll give it a password. So this line is going to create a user called test_user. It is going to be created on localhost, and the password is going to be a password. Alright, and hit enter. So users being created. Since we're not getting any error, now we need to create a database. Alright, create database db_test, hit enter. Alright, so database been created. Alright, so we have created database and the user. Now we need to grant the privileges to the user on the database. Alright, so let's execute this statement. Grant all privileges on db_test, whatever inside this database, to localhost identified by password. Hit enter, and we have given the privileges to this user on this particular database. So yeah, this is the things that you need to do in MySQL. We can do one more thing. We can check if what databases are there. We can do one more thing. Execute this command. So databases. So this is the database that we just created, and these are all other databases. So seems like MySQL is working. Now what we'll do is we will connect this MySQL from our local machine. using the PEM file of our server. Alright, in order to connect to database, you're going to need a database client software. In my case, I'll be using dweaver. You can download it. Alright, so now we need to set up a connection. Click on this icon and MySQL. We'll be using localhost. Alright, we're done with SSH. We have IP address, username, and PIM file. Now we'll do general, and for database, we'll be connecting to test, and the username was test user, and password was password. Now hit on this button. Alright, so connection was successful. I'll click on finish, and this is our new connected, this is our newly created connection. I'll expand it, and these are the things that you get. So under the databases, I have this database that I created earlier. Alright, so our database is working perfectly fine. Now we will move on to port forwarding, and after that we'll deploy a Java web application to our server.